Hi. So we're going to be taking this cute little doll and destroying her, turning her into a monster. So of course the first thing to do is get rid of those clothes and take her apart. Now the plastic this thing's made out of is just really hard plastic, and you'll never be able to take this apart without breaking it unless you heat it up with a heat gun. A hairdryer will work, but you know, paint gun, heat gun, whatever you want to call it, works a lot better. Arms are gone. So some plastics, if you heat them up, you can stretch them. And I want to make her arms really long and creepy. If you saw at the beginning, she has really long arms, like she's reaching out to grab you. I'm going to take that weight, put it on that strap, and slowly stretch that arm. Heat it up all the way around. And there you see it stretching. Yeah, this plastic doesn't stretch. It just tears. So on to plan B. This is just half-inch PVC that I already had cut up for other projects. And just like that plastic, if you heat it up, it'll bend. This stuff, PVC pipe's really good stuff to use for crafts like this. So I crimped one end so it's slip into that wrist better, and now I'm making a little elbow, mostly straight. So if you heat it up and bend it, it'll stay in. It takes a few seconds to cool down, or a minute or so to cool down. Or if you're in a hurry, you can just spray it with water or dip it in water. It'll harden almost instantly. I'm just going to let it sit there. Now, I apologize for the music. I know a lot of people hate music, background music in videos, but I got bored doing this. Not bored, but I wanted to listen to some music, so I had some music playing in the background, and if I have that audio on here, YouTube will, you know, copyright strike this, and nobody will get to see it. So this is just some stock audio. So what I'm doing now is I want her fingers to be really long and creepy, because long fingers are creepy. Ladies with the fake fingernails, that's creepy. There's my chihuahua and one of my kids in the background. As well, you'd be hearing our conversations if I didn't do the background music instead. So what I'm doing is I'm heating up a little piece of copper wire that's cut and sharpened, and I've clipped off the ends of her fingers, and in some of them I drilled little holes, starter holes, in the copper wires in there, so that the copper wire won't be seen. We're going to add hot glue to that later, but just inserted the copper wire into the end of the fingers and bent them to shape so they look nice and creepy. This is just going to taper that other piece of PVC so it'll fit into the wrist part of that arm. There we go. And again, heating the plastic of the doll to get them to fit better. Get them to, you know, makes it a little flexible. There you go. Creepy long arms. And no, they're not the same length. I didn't want them to be the same length. So the hot glue here is both to hold the pieces together, but also there's that transition between the width of the doll's arm and the width of the PVC. I wanted a transition there, and it's going to look like the arms were tearing, I'm hoping, as they lengthened or whatever, because we'll paint this end to end and add some detail, so there'll be some blood here where the hot glue is. Hot glue is amazing. Now I'm taking the hot glue over the wire and building up the wire so that it looks not like pieces of wire, and it'll be paintable. Hot glue is paintable. So I'm kind of just building that up. And now if I'd wanted this to look more, if I wanted it to look elegant or whatever, I would have used like a plasticized modeling clay, which you can do real smooth and make it real detailed. Hot glue though is going to look real clumpy, I guess, and it's going to look kind of creepy, which is what I'm going for. I mean, you can smooth hot glue out a little bit, but yeah. cutting the extra little strings at the end of the hot glue off. And of course, none of the PVC can't really be straight or it won't look real, and the copper, you see me bending that with the pliers. I don't want those to be straight or it won't look real. You want it to look, you know, like it's got joints in there. Doesn't need to look like a mummy from a Scooby-Doo costume. There we go. See how it's kind of filled in there. Now our face is very adorable. So we're going to get rid of the eyes, which involved heating and then popping them out. And then I cut the bottom jaw off. You see it laying there. Now I'm taping around the openings because I'm going to fill the inside with spray paint primer. The reason being is there's going to be a light bulb inside of her head, and if you don't paint the inside, the light shines through the doll material and the whole head glows, and it kind of takes away from the effect. So if we put a layer of paint in there, it'll block that light. And we're going to prime the PVC because PVC doesn't paint well, so if we prime it, we can get the brown paint to match it better. So I went to the hardware store and got some brown paint, so we're going to have to paint her entire body and head with the brown. A little darker than I'd like, but it works. And I'm editing out a lot of the work I'm doing. There's actually about 4 coats of brown paint on her. Partially because when I put the head down, it starts rolling around. She was willing to sit still until I painted her. That is a light that you would have like in a Christmas village with a red light bulb, a C7 bulb, night light bulb. So we're drilling out the neck hole so that the wiring can go through, and there's a hole in her back. Aluminum foil to further block the light and reflect more, and it gives like a textured look when you're staring at her. Makes it harder to see the light bulb inside. Little tricks I've learned over the years making gross stuff. Even without her lower jaw on, that's pretty creepy. So I told you I love hot glue. You can use hot glue to make these like saliva droppings or drippings from the top of her jaw. You can build teeth in, whatever, blood. There you go. Pretty cool. And you can paint that. So I'll paint it later. And now I'm going to glue the jaw on. And lowering the jaw also changes the overall shape of the doll's head. Makes it look less infantile and more skeletal. So just moving the jaw down makes it look really disturbing. And those are 2 pieces of zip tie I cut and glued into place for those teeth. And again, to reassemble her, we're going to have to heat the doll's body. Otherwise, you'd never get those arms back in. See how long and creepy those arms are now. You'll remember the shirt was white, and I don't know if you noticed it closed in the front. I'm putting it on backwards, and I've spray painted it with some lovely lilac and some glitter, and that'll make it look a little more feminine. And because she's not going to look very feminine when I get done with her, but she's going to look a little more feminine with the lilac. And there's got a coat of glitter paint on her shirt. Again, apologies for the background music. But you know, if there's no background sound at all, the videos seem very empty. So I'm painting the inside of the skull a little bit there with some red. when you're painting, you want to do the base coat first, whatever the bottommost color is. So that was the brown, of course, originally. And then for the head, it's the inside of the skull, the red. Gonna do her fingertips and toenails, give her a little detail, a little interest. Now I'm building up more of those tendrils or teeth. You can use the hot glue for any of that. And the front of the zip ties was very flat, so I bulked that up with the hot glue to give the teeth some three-dimensional shape. And adding more like the saliva drops or blood going from the top to the bottom. Pretty cool. And mind you, the zip ties, you know what those are. Those are the two main teeth, but the rest of that is all hot glue. Paint around the edge of her eyes. She's so dark that in the night she would be really hard to see any details. So the white around the eyes will make her eyes pop a little bit. Now in the dark, with that red light inside, they'll look red, I believe. But in the daytime, it'll just look creepy. And I added a little lighter brown to her cheeks, hoping to give her a little not so, what's the word, manufactured looking. Those are my kids coming to keep me company. They find this creepy. Now her lips were very full and kind of had a purplish paint to them. They were very cute. I don't want her to look cute, so I'm using a more lighter tone, flesh tone paint for her lips, and I'm making the smile wider and more clowny, creepier. Yeah. Makes her mouth look even bigger than it is. This is a green. I had to mix this up, green and brown, for her eyebrows. She had painted on eyebrows as well, but I'm making them, of course, creepier, angry looking. She had very happy eyebrows. She's not happy anymore. Now I'm just adding some more details as the paint dries. This is just regular acrylic paint from the craft store. Dries pretty quick. There we go. Now you see how the hot glue painted red looks like actual thick drops of blood coming out of her mouth? And now the hot glue around her, where the PVC and the actual arms of the doll meet. Look at the light bulb stuck to her arm. Well, where the PVC and the arms meet, I'm putting red there, so it looks like her skin's ripping. Hopefully. It's the desired effect. And I'm using different shades of red and mixing red and white from time to time so that the blood doesn't all look the same. It just makes it look more realistic if there's different shades of it, even on her mouth. You know. There's the brown. I've spray paint brown onto the my palette there to touch up around her jaw where the hot glue was, and some places where I'd messed up here. And of course that spot on the arm where the light bulb was. I could have taken it outside and masked it, but that was easier. And now the hair, originally you remember was all black. This is a little bit of white, green, and more of the glitter to make it look like that. It really, for some reason, wants to stick up now. That'll probably stop over time. There you go. How's that? Here's what she looks like outside in the daylight. See those tendrils inside her mouth? You see how you really can't spot the light bulb? And here's her companions. This is another new one this year. Their basket full of entrails. There's She's the queen of the dead dolls. Not her. Her. You can find these dolls at thrift stores and Goodwill, yard sales. Happy Halloween, y'all. Here they are at night. If you do any of these, post a link in the comments to your pictures or your videos or whatever. I'd love to see them. Or if you have any tips. And I have a few other videos of Halloween decorations and ghost videos, so there's a playlist here at the end you can click on and check out. Thanks for watching.